The personal development industry has been selling us something that's fundamentally flawed. They've convinced us that human beings are basically the same, that one-size-fits-all approaches work for everyone.
This is the Enneagram Matrix podcast, revealing the hidden connections between your personality patterns and your path of purpose. And now, your host and creator of Pi9 Purpose Intelligence, Stef Becker.
Here's the thing that most people don't realize about personal development. Have you ever wondered why two people can take the exact same course, follow the exact same steps, and get completely different results? One person transforms their life while the other feels frustrated and stuck in the same patterns they started with. And here's what I discovered after more than 2 decades of working with this. The personal development industry has been selling us something that's fundamentally flawed. They've convinced us that human beings are basically the same, that one-size-fits-all approaches work for everyone. But let me tell you something. We are 7 billion people on this planet, and every single one of us perceives, processes, and responds to the world in fundamentally different ways. Today, I'm going to show you the missing piece that makes most personal development ineffective, and how combining an ancient wisdom tradition with modern personality psychology creates truly personalized transformation. So here's what keeps most people stuck, and this might surprise you. Most personal development is what I call a piecemeal job. They throw techniques at you without understanding how your specific mind works. Think about it. We have 7 billion people on Earth, and every single one of us has a completely different way of perceiving reality. Your brain processes information completely differently than mine. Your emotional patterns are absolutely unique. And the combination of your motivation, fears, and blind spots, well, that's what makes you who you are. Yet the industry keeps selling us the same cookie-cutter solutions. Follow these 5 steps, use this one technique, think these thoughts to change your life. Come on, really? But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is exactly why intelligent people stay stuck. Everything in your life, from personal relationships to professional success to spiritual growth, depends on how your mind perceives, interprets, and responds to what's happening around you. Your mind is literally the lens through which you experience everything. That difficult conversation with your partner? Your unique psychological patterns determine how you interpret their words and how you respond. That career challenge you're facing? Your specific mental patterns shape whether you see opportunity or threat. Now, here's the fundamental flaw in most approaches to personal development. They assume all minds work the same way. They give you techniques designed for a generic person who doesn't actually exist. It's like giving everyone the same prescription glasses and wondering why most people still can't see clearly. Or imagine a fitness trainer giving every client, regardless of body type, fitness level, or health conditions, the exact same workout routine. We immediately recognize how ridiculous that is, right? Yet this is exactly what happens in personal development every single day. So here's what I've discovered works, and this changed everything for me. You need 2 elements working together. First, an accurate map of how your specific mind operates. And second, transformation methods that work with your unique psychological design. Let me start with the mapping system, the Enneagram. The modern Enneagram was developed during the 1970s through the collaboration between two people, Oscar Icazo, a Bolivian philosopher, and Chilean psychiatrist Claudio Naranjo. The name Enneagram comes from ancient Greek, Ennea meaning 9 and gramma meaning figure. So Enneagram literally translates to something like a 9-figured drawing. Now, what's so brilliant about the Enneagram system is that it's not just static categories. It's dynamic. It shows you who you are, but it also shows you how you can change, grow, and evolve. Think of it like this. Other systems like MBTI or Big Five give you a snapshot, and that's it. The Enneagram, on the other hand, gives you a complete movie of your psychological development. Now, for my preferred transformation method, we need to go further back in time. I mean, way, way further. We're talking about a step-by-step method for human development that stretches back thousands of years before Christ even was born. This wisdom tradition was already ancient when the pyramids were being built. And most surprisingly, while this method has been practiced for over 4,000 years, it was first systematically written down only about 2,500 years ago by a practitioner called Patanjali. Patanjali probably feared that if somebody didn't undertake the task of compiling this ancient knowledge about human nature and how to elevate it to the highest level possible, then this profound wisdom might get lost forever. And would you believe it? This 4,000-year-old method is still completely relevant today. As a matter of fact, it has withstood the time of millennia and is still practiced across the world, right here in Canada, in the US, across Europe, in fact, everywhere that human beings are drawn to their highest potential. Now, can you guess what this ancient method is called? I guarantee you that you know the name, but the true meaning has probably eluded most of us. This method of human development, refined over thousands of years, is called yoga. I know what's going on in your head right now. You're probably picturing people chanting Om with their eyes closed or doing some crazy contortions on yoga mats. But here's the thing. That's not yoga. That's what we in the West think is yoga. Listen carefully to the real definition of yoga, and this is the true definition that was crystallized for posterity 2,500 years ago, but represents wisdom that's actually far, far older. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. This is Sanskrit, the sacred language from India. And what does it mean? It literally translates to yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. And here's what most people don't realize. Understanding and being in control of the human mind represents the very foundation of any personal development. So, what we're talking about here is a wisdom tradition that's been tested and refined over 4 millennia, longer than most civilizations, longer than most religions, well, longer than any philosophical system we know. These ancient sages, through deep introspection and analysis over thousands of years, discovered where to start, how to proceed, and what tools to use to bring the human mind under perfect control. And what happens when you combine this 4,000-year-old wisdom with the modern Enneagram system? Well, you get an integrated system with, at one end, the modern Enneagram to identify your specific mental patterns, your psychology, and on the other end, this ancient yoga wisdom providing you with time-tested, millennia-proven methods for transforming those very patterns. Both could not have met before because, well, the Enneagram as we know it today simply didn't exist until the 1970s. For thousands of years, we had these incredibly sophisticated transformation methods from the East, but no precise way to map individual psychological differences. And here's what's remarkable about this timing. It's only now, in our era, that we have both pieces of the puzzle. The ancient masters had the transformation technology, but they were working with general human psychology. We now have the precision mapping system that shows us exactly how each person's mind operates differently. So, for the first time in human history, we can personalize 4,000-year-old wisdom to your specific psychological architecture. And let me tell you something. This is exactly what happens when people get this combination. Instead of fighting against your nature, you learn to work with it skillfully. That meditation technique that never worked for you, you discover it wasn't designed for your specific mental structure in the first place. That communication strategy that felt a little forced, you learn it conflicts with your natural emotional patterns. You stop trying to force yourself into approaches that are actually designed for other people. And here's what I found personally remarkable. When you understand how your specific mind works, you suddenly begin to see why your life is what it is. Because every circumstance, every situation, every experience becomes data for your growth. It's there for a purpose, to teach you something specific to your development. Now, here's where most people get stuck with the Enneagram. Knowing your type is just the beginning. You need a complete system that works with your specific psychological design. And this requires two elements working together. First, precise inner mapping, understanding your complete psychological architecture. The Enneagram matrix reveals not just your core type, but your specific subtype, your integration path, your stress patterns, and your growth opportunities. And that's not even all. 5 different assessments also illustrate how you fare in 8 areas of life, identify your core values, and provide a clear understanding of where you stand in understanding your purpose in life. Second, personalized transformation methods. Ancient yoga practices adapted to your unique mental structure, the unique way your mind works. Now, together, they create something unprecedented. A complete navigation system from your current patterns to your highest potential, designed specifically for how your mind operates. And here's why this personalized approach changes everything. Instead of fighting against your nature, you learn to work with it skillfully. Instead of generic advice that may or may not fit, you get precise practices designed for your specific development needs. Growth becomes natural rather than forced because now you're finally using approaches that match your inner architecture. And here's what's remarkable. When you address your core patterns this way, changes ripple through every area of your life. Personal relationships improve, professional effectiveness increases, spiritual development accelerates. And that's because you're finally working with the root system instead of just trimming branches. Here's my best advice. If you're learning about this for the first time and haven't yet taken our free Enneagram Matrix assessment, visit enneagramkeys.com after this show. You'll find the link also in the show notes. This isn't like those simple online quizzes. The Enneagram Matrix test is composed of 5 different assessments and takes about 1 hour and 45 minutes in total to complete. It reveals your complete psychological blueprint, your Enneagram type, the areas of life that need attention, your core values, and your relationship to purpose in life. We've developed what many consider the most thorough personality assessment available. 5 integrated assessments that provide years of clarity and direction. This practice will be much more powerful when you understand your unique patterns and how they show up in your relationship with personal development and growth. Your practice this week, if I may suggest one, is journaling. Here are 2 specific questions I invite you to explore. First, what approaches to personal development have I tried that didn't work for me? It's enough if you just name 1 or 2, that will be enough to start. And maybe as a follow-up, looking back, how might my unique personality pattern explain why they weren't effective for me specifically? If you spend just 5 or 10 minutes each morning writing whatever comes, don't edit, don't judge, just write. This is what builds awareness of how your specific mind works, and it helps you understand why personalized approaches matter. Next week, I'll share something even deeper, how your personality patterns connect to your soul's development, and why this understanding accelerates your current growth. Remember, your transformation matters not just for you, but to everyone whose life you touch. Keep growing, keep discovering, and keep walking your unique path of purpose.